I see less of Misha in the following days, but I don't worry, because when I do see her, she looks a little bit like her old self each time. Once it's clear enough that I don't want to be afraid of it being my wishful thinking coloring my perception, I start to relax again. I wake up very early and feeling sick on Sunday. I went to sleep too early last night too. Something is also wrong with my curtains, and they won't close completely. Because of that, I can't even attempt to go back to sleep. The sun hits me in the eyes every time. I'm sure that is probably why I woke up so early in the morning as well. Being this sick and tired is a perfect storm of frustration. I'm almost glad when there's a knock at the door. It's a familiar person holding an almost completely eaten apple in his hand. Taking one last bite, he attempts to shoot it into my trash can and misses completely. It smashes apart on the wall 2 meters too high. To be fair, most of the pieces afterwards do manage to fall into the trash can, but I'm pretty sure no one is so brazen that they would be aiming to do something like that on purpose. Perfect shot. Sup, roomie? I'm not your roomie. We don't live in the same room. It doesn't matter. It does. You should at least know the difference between living in the same building and living in the same room. I need to use your room. For what? I messed up. I should have just said absolutely not. The student council keeps delivering my mail even though I asked them to put it in my locker or something. Now they keep putting it in my under my door, delivering my mail without me noticing it, so today I'm lying in wait to catch them in the act, like a detective or a safari hunter. I need to chill in your room for today and look through the little peephole, or I won't be able to catch them in the act. Maybe tomorrow too. It'll be awesome. We'll get pizza on both days. Or should we get pizza just on one day and something else on the other? But what? Which day is pizza day? Not today. Never. You know, I'm in the student council. Why didn't you just ask me about it? If you had, I would have been able to find out very easily. And went after Kenji in my room. It's a win-win, except I guess this way you might be able to get a pizza out of me. I started thinking that maybe that was Kenji's intention. But no, I doubt it. There's no way you could plan something that elaborate. You know, when they deliver mail, well, no, they just hand me my mail, and when I go to the student council, usually. The point is, I could find out by asking them, then I'd know and I could tell you. That's how people find things out, by asking. Not cavemen. Oh yeah, no response to that, right? Checkmate. Use your own people. What if they see me? They can't. That's how the peepholes work. It's like a one-way glass. For real? Well, no way. They'll be expecting me to be in my room anyway. They'll sense my presence. You know I'm there. They never expect me to actually be in the room across the hall. I'm gonna go to student council and go get your mail for you right now. I guess can't let you leave. That's dumb. What if I have to use the toilet? Your game won't work on me. I sit down on my desk and start doing my homework for the weekend. You know, you're gonna have to leave eventually, so you can't stay here forever, or keep me here forever. I mean, this is my room to start with. Yeah, I don't think I can. What time does the mail usually come? Now. Why are women so slow? Why do you care so much about the mail anyway? Are you expecting something? I'm always expecting something. Not today, though. Do you want them to send something? Do you even send mail? Nope. That's how they get you. I haven't used the mail since I was 8. Sent a letter to Lego asking them to make a Alright, make Dragon Ball Legos. Huh. They said they couldn't get the rights and gave me some coupons. Totally worth it, but after that I made sure to stay off the radar. You don't use mail, do you? I wrote to my parents last week. No, so Alright, well that's how they get you. Yeah, I should have known. Maybe that's why they put that microchip in me the next day. Still, the rumors were true. I'd like to know what rumor mill he got that from. I was kidding, it's a joke. A joke? Damn, you would joke on me? I guess that's how it feels to have jokes cracked on. I never thought it'd happen to me. This is a serious issue. Man, I think you're not appreciating the depths of my dilemma. To work in many acts, complicated acts, with many players. It's really hard, okay? After I'm done, I'm gonna eat a whole fish to celebrate. Ah, shit. I want a pizza, though. Small pizza. Can I get fish on the pizza? Do they do that now? You're gonna be paying for it. You still haven't paid me back. I'm not hungry right now anyway. Unlimited pizza? That's not possible, son. It's gotta be pizza. Anyway, I'm in the pizza stage of my life before I was in the ice cream stage. My girlfriend kept eating all the strawberry out of my Neapolitan. It'll probably happen to you too. It's hard to tell if he's serious half the time. I can only see his expression when he's not nose deep in my door. I doubt that. Hey, you know I do have a girlfriend, right? Not Iwanako either. The student council president, actually. Old news. What? Seriously? I have my sources. Anyway, then it dawned on me that I had gotten fat from all the ice cream. It was a rude awakening, like sleeping on a beach and getting hit by a wave that destroys your sandcastle. I started running. I had to lose the pounds, but maybe I was really running away from myself. A sudden continuous knocking caused me to leap backwards, far enough to hit the wall on the way back behind him. I take the opportunity to walk over and open the door. Good morning, what's up? If you salt the doorway, they can't enter uninvited. I'm not going to put salt in my doorway. But you're considering it. Good. What? Good morning. Are you here to deliver the mail? Nodding, she soon waves a couple envelopes between our faces. I take them from her, freeing up her hands for conversation. How did you know? How did you know? What? You were hiding it behind your back in a really obvious way. Hiding what? The mail. It's okay. I wasn't trying very hard in the first place. That's not like you. You're the type of person to go anything worth trying hard. Girls taking initiative? And what about me? I've been using that phrase for years. Where's my parade, dog? I spit literally gold. I spit literally gold, and you women just steal it and wear it out like 2-for-1 sundress, like a Picard up to my Kirk. Or you could just be my Janeway. Not all the time. Are you making fun of me? Finally, noticing Kenji, she gives him a wave. Hey Kenji, the student council president says hi. Hi. Introduce me. I have no idea what he's saying, but it looks confident. Oh yeah, no one is better at saying that kind of stuff as confidently. I already did. I even introduced you by title. This is Kenji. He's the guy across the hall. His room is right behind you. Anyway, do you have his mail too? I'm only delivering your mail because it was there. I have early access. It's all about location. Consider it as a perk of being the student council. That doesn't sound very fair. She takes a lot of liberties in her position. At least they're small ones. This is fine. The first time I've really been able to see a room. It's a blatant lie, or she had signed it much faster. I'm sure she remembers that it's not the first time. Why does he get to see a room and I can't? Is it a guy thing? It's not a secret club being a guy. It should be, with rings with big ass emblems, and gold. Are you sure? Are you really sure? I always thought that there was a secret brotherhood of men. Why is she ignoring me? Let me tell her about the guy club. Also, what's up with that hand signal? Is she trying to make her heck to me or something? No, stay out of this. I'll have to translate anything you say to her. I'm not sure if I could even handle it. And she'll probably misunderstand it, and then you'll probably misunderstand the reply. I'll have to translate your rebuttal. Rebuttal? Why would I rebut? I like my butt. Or rebut. Oh, okay. What is he saying? He's saying he has no rebuttal. Rebuttal to what? I haven't even begun to challenge him yet. I don't like the way she put that. So it appears she wants to, but about what? It doesn't matter since it wouldn't end well. Don't pick fights with her. There are none. I have never met your friends. Why can't I? It looks like he's being passionate. I suppose with the way he's flailing around, it would be stupid to expect you to think otherwise. Anyway, I'd better change the subject. Not that it would be likely to work on her, but I'm sure she has to have come here for a reason, than to just drop my mail off. If it was something that tiny, she wouldn't even have bothered knocking. You didn't come here just to give me my mail or chat with my friends, did you? Shun snaps her fingers in a mock frustration. She cringes inducingly loud as ever. You're right. Let's go somewhere again. Do you have somewhere in mind already? You're right again. Let's go to the usual place. She whips up out of a bag and a neatly wrapped container from just outside of the doorframe. I guess they're filled with food, and this time it doesn't look store-bought. Setting it down between her feet, she continues. Is that for me? This was a real surprise, see? I have to say something over everything. I have to have something over everyone at the very end. I agree in the way people normally do when someone makes a statement in front of them and tells more that they meant to tell. Fucking Kenji. Well, fine, if you're both gonna ignore me, I'm out of here. It's so cruel. You'll regret this. Poor Kenji. Oh, hey. Not long afterwards, we find ourselves on the school roof. Is it normally deserted at this time? On a nice day like this? On the weekends? No, of course not. I can only think of it being because of Shizune, Not that clearing out a roof would require anything more than posting a sign on the door. The emptied plastic containers Shizune had packed our meal in the line next to me. It was another quiet meal, since holding chopsticks prevents us from saying much to each other. While it's not blowing hard enough to be a problem, the wind is a little strong today. It blows the plastic bag loose from under the empty container, so it whips around for a bit, before rolling over my leg and getting caught in the tip of Shin's shoe. Immediately she grabs and starts signing, not looking happy that I'm laughing at her, even though she's trying not to let out a laugh herself. With the beggars in the way, however, she has to eventually sit on it to continue. Very funny. How is it? The food? It tasted familiar. That means it was bad. No, I remember eating the exact meal before, when you made it. Not exactly the same. The fried shrimp was new. It was only the thing I know how to make, but I should have improved. How many times have you made it before? This is the second time. Making this particular meal? Cooking. Next time, it's your turn to try it. The way she keeps tugging on the corner of my bag is bothering me. I think I know why she's doing it. Is it really bugging you that much? I want to pack them up properly. It's okay, I'll get them. As I'm picking them up, I realized that she must have bought a lot of food to be able to fill all those containers. I didn't even eat much. She must have some metabolism in order to pack all that away. Even though I've only been up here for a second, it's long enough to stupidly trip over my own feet. Barely managing to break my fall, I end up landing on my elbows and knees, right next to June's lap. Uh-oh. As I pull myself back up, hands gingerly held on my chest, all I can think of is how my knees hurt and how this fall could have killed me. I feel nauseous. Shun gives me a helpful push on the shoulder to help me upright, though I notice her eyeing me oddly. Fortunately, even a light shove is enough to take me by surprise. Are you okay? I nod, but we don't return to sitting beside each other. Naturally, being alone with Sejun is going to involve a lot of silence, but I only notice it now. The typical sign is of awkwardness. Again, she is the only one to break the ice. I was expecting you to try something dirty. And now the mood is back to awkward. Alright. How's Misha? Misha seems happier now. Back to her old self. I thought this would be a good way to celebrate and to thank her for helping her. To help you for helping her. Her hand stumbles for a bit on the last word. You think too much like a businesswoman. I can't help it. It's how I've been taught to do things. It makes me happy that you're asking about Misha. It'd be more accurate to say back to her real self. She would only be back to her old self to you. Then the Misha you know is completely different from the one I think of. When I think of the first time we've met, even though I think she looks better, cheerful, and smiling, that isn't how she typically is. And I wonder if it's true for you too. I don't answer. Well, if Misha's happy, then it doesn't matter. If it worked out in the end, your plan had worked. You knew her just as well as you said. You knew everything she would say. If your idea was just that, it'd speak for you, though. Then that'd just make me your puppet. I didn't do anything then. Not true. It was your idea first. It was wrong. I have a way of seeing things that is very flawed now that I've thought about it. I'm sure you know. Sometimes I treat everything like a competition between myself and everyone else, even when it doesn't make sense too. Sometimes. I know very well how easy it is to ignore someone if they can only communicate with you through sign. I should have asked for help, but I was so sure I could do it on my own. It was actually a brave thing you did, even if you won't take credit for it. Aside from that, you've really become kind of admirable lately. It's strange having her compliment me while her facial expression hasn't changed in the slightest. But people don't change so easily, according to you, am I right? Wing's clearly enjoying herself very much. Does Misha tell you everything? Almost everything. I guess you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong about that, aren't you? Yes and no. I'm not the only one who told Misha that before anyone else. Or I'm the one who told Misha that before anyone else. But she took it too far and changed the meaning. It's not easy, but she acts like that makes it impossible. It's possible for you to go little by little. I'm considering trying to be less competitive. I thought you would enjoy that, though. Maybe, just a little. That's why I specifically used less. She leans against the fence. I have things I want to say to her, but it doesn't seem like the right time for it. Somehow it's a feeling I have. I can tell she isn't done just yet. A lot of people think I try too hard. Well, I've always thought that I had tried just enough. The sound the fence makes as she pushes against it, the delicate clink of her sleeve buttons scraping against the links, are oddly soothing. So is the breeze gently picking up behind me. I can hear people below us. Shun's eyes dart below us as well, and I wonder if she still thinks about what she might be missing out on. The attention-grabbing way she tends to snap her fingers proves she has an understanding of how other people perceive sound. It must be odd being able to understand that much, but unable to experience it yourself. She starts walking slowly around the perimeter of the roof, still scraping her buttons against the fence. It isn't rhythmic at all, though not for lack of trying. I sort of zone out and thought it was what she does, and I'm rudely snapped out of it when she circles around completely and taps me on the shoulder. Do you remember what we were talking about? When? Now? Of course, it just happened. It's been almost 10 minutes. When I first saw you, you seemed like you were still very attached to the idea of feeling sorry for yourself. That stings even if it's true. Sorry. It made me want to cheer you up at the first sight. I was scared it would be more for nothing, though. I couldn't help thinking it would be hard to change your mind. What you did, I thought it was very surprising and almost that you might be kind of very easily influenced. Still, I was surprised. It made me reconsider a lot of things, like that maybe everything was worth it in the end. Everything? That's why I like you. I see. It's nice to finally know. I remember you have to take this job seriously. Too many people think you can just slack off, and that isn't important. That is a dangerous way of thinking. Definitely. You can't take it too seriously. If you're always thinking big, thinking positive, and if you show any signs of weakness, people will start to think you're incompetent, you know? And soon you won't be able to do anything because your power is going to be delegated off to others piece by piece, and you'll be left with nothing. That's what happened last time. So, remember, it may seem like an easy job, but a lot of carnage can happen in this room. And, out of it, dealing with school staff too. Even trying to get a budget report from a class rep can be a fight to the death sometimes. Yeah, it's kill or be killed. There are no friends in the pits and you take no prisoners. Are you sure about this? Is this right? You don't seem excited enough. I have to make sure it's getting through properly. What's more with feeling? Well, hey. She twirls her hands like a maestro for emphasis, visibly intimidating the two girls standing at attention in front of us. To think this all started because one of them asked if she wasn't taking her job too seriously. You understand? Do you understand? Pretending I'm shouting it? Do you understand? Pretend I'm shouting it. Aoi, how do you say that name? Aoi? Hey, okay, the student council is so weird. Yes, sir. Kaiko. Huh. Sir, what are you guys talking to? Who are you guys talking to anyway? That's not weird. You had to think of it as a job. If you want to think of it like they're paying you with the right to use the great office. You want another lecture? No. You can go now. Just like that, the hour-long student council orientation is over. Personally, I thought it was about 50 minutes too long, and also found it funny that it incorporated a tour of a school that we have all been going for a while, but I guess it didn't hurt. I expected Shizune to fall back in her chair since she has been on the edge all day, but she doesn't. She continues pacing the room restfully. They still have a long way to go, right now. They're a joke. What? They think they can be the new student council? They're so unfocused. You can really see the lack of experience. This was our best year yet. I don't think they have what it takes to be a follow act. And I know there are more of them than those two girls. Where are they? They're like the heavily marketed but mediocre big-budget, critically panned sequel to the acclaimed low-budget sleeper hit. Eventually she does stop and sit down. Are you gonna miss it? Obviously. I'd be happier if I didn't have to leave too. I like being in the student council, even if it can be too tiring too. Yeah, it's definitely tiring. Only because Chan is always trying to do more than she has to. You're forgetting that if I did the bare minimum, we wouldn't do anything all year except handle flyers, collect surveys, and plan the next student council election, so the next student council could sit around for another year of doing nothing. Asking me to let this happen? Don't be ridiculous. In a student council like that, there wouldn't even be any power to play around with. I'm just happy that even though I clearly need to ride them harder, those two aren't bad. Those two aren't bad. Not there yet, but the student council should be in good hands. How can you tell? After the festival, they asked me if we could organize a Halloween event, like a haunted house or something along those lines. They had a bunch of other ideas as well. Of course, my response was no. I had Misha tell them to do it themselves if they wanted it so badly. They were angry for some reason. Ha ha ha. Of course they'd be angry if you said that. Misha delivered the message wouldn't help. I was angry too. All of a sudden, they want so much. If they wanted a haunted house or a traditional style cafe, or a trip to the beach or whatever other cliche thing, why didn't they try to organize it before? It was like they were taking advantage of me. I worked hard to organize those festivals, and in return they came to me with that. Was nice, but can you do this now? How about doing this? It's what I really want. Shi-chan was wrong though. Right, they wanted to join the student council so they could make it happen. I made them feel jealous and riled them up. That can be a motivation too. The desire to do something great spreads, even if it's to show me up. They decided to take me up on the challenge nonetheless. I'm impressed. Well, for now, I wanted to see how it plays out a little longer in order to know for sure. She snaps her fingers suddenly which sends Misha almost bolting out of the seat. Interesting. I guess it is impossible to get used to. That's right. We were going to have a party to celebrate passing the reins in the new student council, weren't we? Why not have that now, or at least plan it now, and have it tomorrow? But they're not even in charge yet. In fact, that's the first thing you told them. You're not in charge yet. It seems premature. Misha, what do you think? I agree, it's too early. Plus, I don't think I could go anyway. Sorry, in fact, I was gonna leave right now. Why not? No comment. Come on, tell me. Well, okay. We did not crack under pressure, Misha. I thought about it, and even if I didn't want to go, I would say yes. Usually, it's the kind of person I am. I really should stop doing that. This is a good place to start, I think. If it's a celebration to say goodbye, I don't want it. It'd be too sad. I want to do something else instead. And after all, Hit-chan, you and Chit-chan will still be here tomorrow. It doesn't seem right. Besides, I have other school things to have today, so I can't drop them just like that. We can postpone it. No, no early goodbyes. She looks very firm as she says this. Aren't you gonna go now, though? Oh, that's right. Wahahaha. Okay, besides now, not too early goodbyes, okay? I get it. Okay, later. With that, it's just June and I left alone in the student council room. Sunset slowly changes to night as we sit in silence, both searching for something to say. Would it really be that bad? Yeah, I didn't think about it like that, but Misha's right. Party set a mood, and it would be a sad one. A sad party doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun. Why would it be sad? This is a trick question. I'm sure of it. Shinon's eyes pierce into mine, waiting for me to answer with a detached, analytical stare that I haven't seen in a while, but feels familiar anyway. I consider my answer carefully, but also what it means her to ask me. It could be that Shizune finds it depressing as well, or it could be that she doesn't understand why anyone would find it depressing. Both are equally plausible. I had a thought that when you graduate, that's it. It's going to be the end of the student council. I was wondering if you had the same idea. Don't be stupid. I look forward to it. I won't be a student council, I won't be a student anymore, so the expectations are going to be completely different. People's expectations of me and my expectations about everything else. It seems exciting. As for the student council, it should be in good enough hands. I don't have anything to be sad about. I don't think you're being honest. You looked upset about having to give the student council up, not even a few weeks ago. It wasn't about leaving to a bunch of newbies either. It was having to stop doing student council work at all. Unexpectedly, Shizune smiles. So you're not disagreeing. Then it doesn't make sense why you'd want to have a party about it. I'm trying to get over it. Besides, goodbye celebrations are very important. People say the first step in them is the most crucial, but following it through and finishing cleanly are just as important, right? Guess that's true. Anyway, I don't consider it goodbye, but it's still an event. You still have to go through the proper motions. Aren't you going to? Aren't I going to what? Kiss me, of course. Is that the proper motion? It'd be normal, wouldn't it? That's a natural thing to do. It's time to act decisively. If I don't, I'm sure my heart will explode. I kiss her, immediately, so quickly that I don't even have time to enjoy it. Even though she was prepared for it, she soon blushes a deep red. I feel similar heat rising in my neck and cheeks. Whoa! Oh geez. I move in for another kiss, but as I do, she moves backward at the same time and impishly jumps onto the cabinet behind her. Alone in the total silence of her room, we just look at each other for a while. This time I kiss her more deeply. Her lips are light and dry, and open a tiny bit. I'm only able to appreciate the sensation for a moment before she starts kissing me back forcefully. Her bangs brush against my closed eyelids as I let myself sink deeper into the kiss. I can feel the shape of her body through her clothes, which only makes me hold Shizune tighter. It takes some effort for the both of us to draw back from each other. We're both blushing, both from the kiss and the thoughts of what to come. I'm far from the only one breathing a little heavier. As Shizune begins to take off my tie, I start undoing her blouse. It takes a while to figure it out, and never really thought about how her school blouses work before. Shizune's blouse is a little tight on her, and her arms get stuck for a moment because of it. And I find myself peeling it off of her, although with the way she's trying to wriggle out of it, at the same time it isn't easy. The sight is a little comical. Once Shizune's arms are free, she slides out of her skirt and her skirt falling around her knees with it after she unhitches it and works it off her legs. The only thing covering her now is her bra and her panties. Her figure is curvious and taut, and the healthy color of her skin contrasts with the black of her underwear. It's a wonderful sight, especially against the background of the moonlight through the window. She looks at my chest and works at the button of my shirt one by one. The process is great, slowed by my hands moving up and down her thighs. It's a little amusing to play with it like this. Eventually, my shirt falls to the ground. Shizune surprises me by quickly pulling in me in for a deep kiss without warning. I quickly return the gesture. Why are you bolder today than on the roof? Or in your room? I try to think of a good answer, but it isn't easy. How would I be able to respond that even if I could? There's no way to unless I were to say that bureaucracy really puts me in the mood. My shirt, having been disposed of, soon moves onto my belt, and I decided to let her undo it. Undo it instead of answering a question. I don't think it would be too much good to at this point. It's not hard to get off and falls to the ground with a metallic clunk. I move in for another kiss, begin to slide my hand up her side, but she suddenly lurches forward, making me stumble backward. The stiff edge of the table behind me was the furthest thing from my mind, and I feel it stabbing into my lower back. I haven't even noticed it was there. It makes me grab Shoujo a little tighter as we fall back onto the surface of the table. They did it. They did the thing. In the room of the student council room at school. They did it at school. Exhausted, I leaned back against my desk and tried to regain my breath before putting my clothes back on. I noticed a dull hot throbbing in my chest as I buttoned my shirt up. It puts a bad aftertaste on everything that just happened. Alright. So this is a thing now. It's gonna be black on the screen. I just cut it for a second because they're showing the nakedness of Shizune. So it'll be like that until it's done. It was a lucky break that Misha can be here, wasn't it? You're in an unusually joking mood today. I wonder what she had to do. Shijun traces the air lazily with a finger and points to the door. Go see for yourself. Why don't you tell me? Just tell me. It's more interesting if you see for yourself. Seeing is believing. Sure, clever. Maybe I will. What about you? Are you gonna stay here all day? It's getting late. It feels like my last day as student council president. So maybe I'll sleep here tonight. It could be the last chance I had to sleep at my desk, like after a long day, trying to meet a deadline. That's weird. I'll sleep in my bed. Sleeping sitting up is a skill, a very useful one. Right. For a moment after I leave the room, I actually do consider seeing what Misha's up to, just because she made it sound so secretive, as if she were building a time machine or something, but in the end decided not to. The night air is pleasant at this time of year. It's refreshing and a little humid, but not so chilly as to make it uncomfortable to stay outside for a while. It's light enough for the courtyard to be... Oh, wait. Yeah. It'll just make it uncomfortable to stay outside for a while. It's light enough from the courtyard to be all but deserted, too. After Shizu and I said our farewells to each other, I set out to return to my dormitory room. I didn't even make it all the way there, though, before getting distracted. It doesn't seem like a bad idea to go see what Misha's up to. I have nothing better to do. No homework. I might have anything worth reading. On top of that, I simply want to know.